The month of October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Hello, this is Glenda with aka GK Fralin, a friendly community. October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month brings an opportunity for us to find out more. It's also an opportunity to give and to take part in walks and all of those activities. Those are great. I think you should do them, honestly. I do. I'm not going to say not to, because they're all very important. It's just not what I'm talking about today. Tests for breast cancer is what I do want to talk about. And later I'll have a poem that I wrote about my own breast cancer. Okay, the tests and procedures for women for diagnosing breast cancer include your own breast exam. That needs to be something that you do every month, and it needs to be something that that you also have your doctor check both of your breasts once a year, and the lymph nodes. Lymph nodes are generally found under the armpit, under in here. And, they're found all over the body, but you will find them a lot that, for the breast cancer, you also need to check underneath your arm. Okay. Another one, besides those two, is the mammogram. Now, we've all complained that it's uncomfortable, but without the mammogram, mine would not have been found, because mine was so small. It was, I don't think it was even as big as a pea. It was barely pea size. And when they just saw something, a shadow of some little thing that was different from the time before, so they took me back and they did an ultrasound. And that's the other. It's usually the follow-up. And they did an ultrasound on that breast. And sure enough, there was a very small mass there. And they did a needle biopsy. And expecting, because of where it wasn't generally the kind that would be breast cancer. And so he did the needle biopsy, sent the tissue in, and it was cancer. Thank goodness it was very slow growing, but still it was early, and so I had a partial mastectomy. So they took some of the lymph nodes, because they find out I'm trying to think what they called it. Sentinel. Kind of like the guard, There's what they call the sentinel node, I think is what it was. Anyway, but they want to check all of that to make sure there's no other cancer cells flashing or whatever. Okay, and then what they do is the surgery, and after that, you're going to be, going through whatever treatment program they set up for you. All I'm trying to get through today is the diagnostics and finding out if you have it and why it's so important to do those checks every month. Now, a year or so later, I felt another lump, and I thought it was fairly significant in that same breast. So I went in and I said, there's something there. Well, they could see it, but they weren't real sure what it was either, because it was right on that scar line, but it was, there was something right on that scar line. Well, they did go back in and do more surgery. Thank goodness they didn't have to do a mastectomy, because it turned out to be, it was an exploratory, and it turned out to be a bundle of scar tissue or a buildup of scar tissue in just that one spot. So that was a relief, but thank goodness. Because if they had not done that exploratory, and it had been a return of the cancer, and we would have been in trouble. Because like any cancer, it can spread. Okay. So we've talked about the pink bra and why that's important. Here's the other thing that's very important. Men get breast cancer too. And men don't have breasts like women do, but you do have them. And mostly you'd like to call them pecs, which it is. The pectoral muscle is behind the actual breast tissue. And in males, there's not a significant amount of breast tissue most of the time, but there is some. And even in men who don't have the extra breast tissue, which they call man boobs, I guess. Anyway, it's still possible. Now, here's the thing. The symptoms are pretty much the same as they are for women. But even though you can, generally, the male man or whatever will find the lump because it's sitting fairly close to the skin. But they don't think about it being cancer or a tumor. You know, they're more likely to think of it as, something, I don't know, something else. And men don't like to think about things like getting breast cancer. That's something women get. No, it's something men get too. So men don't ignore it. I don't know if you need to go through the monthly, but I mean, if you have extra breast tissue, definitely do. But a lot of men, when you're washing your chest, you're fairly flat there, so you're going to probably feel something. So if you do feel something there, go to your doctor and have it checked out. Anyway, I have a poem that I'm going to pull up and read here in just about a minute. Pink April. Today I'll buy a pink brassiere, wear under sheer white top. Not any day would be so brash to celebrate my breasts. But now as April proves my cup can yet be full, I've need for outward sign of what the doctor left. Today I'll buy pink ribbons to turn about in bows and join them pinned as millions others will to celebrate women's gift. The sweet milk suckled from our nipples by tender newborn mouth. Cleave 2 mounds of flesh for proud bellies filled. Today I'll touch unashamed the curve upon my chest. What God endowed be as it is, no need to hide from me. If it be gone to save my life in time, as time unfolds, I'll have memory of the soft bare flesh of my womanhood. And that is the poem Pink April. And that one was personal to me. So that's why that's why it's called Pink April, because it happened in April. And anyway, it talks, it's a female's type of poem. But men, do pay attention. If you're taking a shower and you notice something while you're lathering up, take note and ask your doctor. Ask him or her, it, shut up, that's my phone. Even if it's nothing, that's what you want. You would much rather find out it's nothing. But please do ask. Thank you. Today we didn't do anything for Halloween because today, generally I take Sunday off, and I sort of have all day. This has just been a very specific vlog for a very specific purpose, and you've already figured that one out. So yes, the big bra is still hanging up there until it's taken down. Anyway, I hope everybody's well. And, we manage to live within our limits. That is kind of my motto for this, is live to the optimal level within your limits. And, someone like me and some of the others who have, like those who have congestive heart failure, some kinds of cancer, we get some limits. There's, diabetes it definitely puts some limits, although it doesn't have to be severe ones, depending on how well adjusted you are to it. But we all have something in our lives. Don't let it stop you from living, even if your parameters are limited. You don't have to stop. And be positive. God love you. And pray for everybody in the wake of this last hurricane. Thank you and good night. Just a couple of things here. I never did clarify. My breast cancer was in 2008, so I have been pretty much cancer-free for quite a while now. The other thing is, please, do subscribe. This channel is kind of a variety type. Today was a health one, but pardon my breathing. Anyway, please do subscribe, and if you liked this one, then please do the YouTube thumbs up. You can do it on do the Facebook thumbs up too, but do the YouTube thumbs up and share it, because this one has some important information. Others will too, but just to keep everybody reminded that they need to be aware. Okay, and so once again, have a great week. Happy Monday, and I do love you all. I love because I'm loved. And I know I say that because it's true. If you don't let the love radiate out from yourself, you don't get it back. So, in some way, you need to let it radiate. Let your light shine. So, and I will see you mañana.